My Facebook just left. Hey everyone, it's Mary Fain Brandt with a LinkedIn Bakery, and this is Bite-Sized Tips for Busy Entrepreneurs. And tonight, I'm super excited that we have Sashi Whitman with us. And if you hold on just one moment, of course, all my devices decided to go black right at the time that I went live. So I'm going to have to cue some things up. Oops. So just give me 1 second here. And if you're watching here, why don't you do my favorite thing? Let me know where you're watching from and what industry you're in. And if you're catching the replay, can you go ahead and type hashtag replay so that I know that you tuned in for the replay? Now, we love this show to be interactive and engaging. We don't want it just to be Sashi and I talking, although we could do that all night because we go way back, right, Sashi?
That's right.
But we really want to hear about your questions, where you're stuck in social media. And I think that tonight's show is going to be super engaging. If I could just find, you would not believe this. One day, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a behind the scenes tour. So you guys can see what it takes to put on a Facebook live show. It's not just her and I sitting here with our headphones, ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I got my screen back up with my notes.
Yay!
Okay, so let's get started, folks. So Sashi and I go way back. We actually know each other from CWEN, which is Christian Women's Entrepreneur Network. And if anybody is looking for a different networking group that is faith-based and would like to attend as my guest, I have a free pass for you. So just drop a comment below or message me, and we meet on the first and third Wednesdays of the month, except for not the 4th of July. We will all be on vacation. I'll be at the lake.
Yes, so will I. I'll be out of town.
Yes. Yeah. So I just want to tell you a little bit about Sashi. So she is a marketing strategy at UCSD Extension. And we were just talking before the live. She has international students. And she was telling me about what they're going to be working on. And I'm really fascinated. And I'm not going to spill everything, but I'm just going to say, listen to the end when she starts telling you and has an ask for you, because you might want to be involved in this. It's pretty awesome.
For sure.
Yeah. So tonight, you guys, we're talking about the 3 things about social media that Sashi is going to talk about is know where your target market hangs out. That is so important. And I learned earlier this month with Jen Herman, I had an aha moment that I think some of my audience, my new audience, hangs out on Instagram. I'm not there. So, aha, light bulb moment. The second thing we're going to talk about is to choose, the 2 to 3 social media channels. Once again, that's Instagram would be the third one for me. Everybody knows that, okay, when they started their entrepreneur journey, who didn't try to be on every platform? Okay, those that did try to be on every platform, raise your hand.
Raise your hand.
Yeah.
Right.
I was on Twitter and Pinterest and YouTube and LinkedIn and anything else. I thought I had to be on it all. Man, it took me a good 16 months though to realize I didn't, and to just find where your audience is and to just focus on those platforms. So you guys probably know that I'm on Facebook. And I'm on LinkedIn. So we have Tracy on. Tracy Shots. She says hello.
Hello.
And Ethel, I think, is joining us. Hello, Ethel. And the third thing is to check the analytics. And I just want to say that I just had Nicole, a friend and colleague of mine. She did a Google Analytics on my website. And it was very fascinating. And the way she broke it down actually made sense. So don't be afraid of analytics, because I was terrified because I didn't understand it. And we usually have a fear of what we don't understand.
True.
Right?
Exactly.
So you are in for an awesome show. So, grab your water, your coffee. I love this. I just have to show this off.
I love it, Mary.
My sister Jenny got this for my birthday last year.
That's so cute.
And it's my color, and it's not vodka. It's water.
It's water.
But it's fabulous. So grab your water, your coffee, your ice cream, whatever it is that you need at 7:04 tonight, and join us for an interesting show on social media and strategy with Sashi. That's a lot of S's.
That is a lot of S's. I didn't realize that, but very good. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Social media strategy with Sashi. Okay.
Woo!
Woo!
So, you know what, Sashi, before you get started on what you're going to cover with the audience, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your journey and why you teach it, and how you got started, because I think it's important for the audience to know.
That's a great question. So I came from corporate, and back, gosh, I think it was
Look at your
almost
face.
8, no, I was going to say 9, 10 years ago, I was laid off. And I've always really wanted to teach. I really felt it was important to give back, and I always thought that I would be just a really good instructor. And so this is like rewinding back to 9, 10 years ago. So hold on. So we're going back a little bit of dark ages. Like social media is just like a little baby at the time.
Yeah, so it was like 2 months old.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Basically. Yes, we are all learning. And I was led into teaching at UCSD Extension. I made an introduction, and I started teaching there. And then that led me into San Diego Christian College, and that led me into University of Phoenix and the Art Institute. And so I piece all these different courses together, and I teach everything from market research to advertising, campaigns and strategy, to social media strategy. And currently, as Mary mentioned, I'm working with international students and partnering with businesses to provide a marketing strategy within 8 to 9 weeks of time. So, which is very challenging. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear about how that turns out at the end. We'll get together for coffee or something.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, one-on-one.
One-on-one.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that introduction. And you guys, Sashi rocks on her social media strategy, and she's just overall a rock star in my book. So
thanks, Mary.
I'm excited to hear these tips from my audience, because social media and strategy. So I think the strategy part is where people get stuck.
Yeah.
They think they just need to post.
Right. Exactly. So, and you had touched upon it. You had said, okay, in the beginning, you threw up everything. And that's what I typically see at my student group who partnered with a business that I will not mention, but they, to be quiet, but they looked at their website, and the first thing they saw when they scrolled down, I said, okay, look at all of their social media icons and badges. What do you see? And you saw the range. You saw Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Reddit. And it went on and on. There were 7 or 8 icons. So I said, okay, take a look at their social media pages, and what do you think? And it really led them to, which I always say is, they had a lot of social media sites, but they weren't consistent. They weren't posting frequently. The information that posted was old. And the information that was posted wasn't even relevant to the audience. It wasn't really connecting with them. Okay. So what I said was, okay, what suggestions do you have? And I always tell businesses that I work with or students that I have in class, you really want to focus on, I know it's unusual, you don't hear this that often, but you really want to focus on 1 or 2. At the most, especially, and I'm talking to the solopreneurs, the entrepreneurs, and the small businesses who do not have a large marketing budget, who are trying to do everything, thank you. Yeah.
Me.
Right, me, I'm pointing to me. Right, who are working 50, 60-hour weeks, pulling out their hair, managing Excel spreadsheets, and you can't do it all. And so I think the first thing that everyone does, and I'm going to say this unfortunately, is they put up a Facebook page. And that I'm going to say this, I'm going to speak some truth, that may not necessarily be where your audience hangs out.
Right.
To be really real.
Or it could also be where you start, but your audience changes and you pivot, and you need to reevaluate.
Very good. Exactly. Right. So you need to be really aware of what is going on with your audience. So something that I like to tell small businesses is to really make sure that if you're going after a certain social media channel, to do it well, right? You really want to do everything well and to really invest your time deeply. So if you do throw up a Facebook page, business page, which is absolutely fine, then make sure that you're doing it consistently. And Mary, I actually have to talk to you and how well you do it. I know.
I was like,
I'm going to call you out because I think you do a great job at doing your videos and your posts, and you really do a great job at being authentic and being who you are and connecting to your audience, right? And so model after Mary, everybody.
And I have to say, like, I have to give a shout out to Amy Aram. She is my Facebook manager, and I was trying to do it all. And her whole, if you look at her LinkedIn page that we worked on together, her thing is post with consistency and purpose. Right. Don't post just to post.
Exactly. That is
so she has helped me. We have worked together. It's a team, and we work together on what I'm going to post. And we were doing Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday, and I was like, it's too much. It doesn't matter. It's not quantity, it's quality. So we cut it down, and we kept Monday motivation. And then we Tuesday tips. And then we do whipping up Wednesday. Like, what are you whipping up? What are you working on? And then we do small business Saturday because it's important to me to give back.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Thursday, Friday, you take a break, right?
Or she takes a break.
Oh, right, right.
You're welcome, Amy. She's like, thank you. I was like, you're welcome. Yay.
Yay. Yeah, so it's just really important. So and to your point, what you have to really, so this is where it gets into the knowing your audience piece. So, for example, if you have a Facebook page and you have fans, you might have 200, 500, 1,000, whatever that is. This is the time where you get to really figure out where you can actually know what your fans like and what they prefer, and so what they really follow. So this is where it gets into a little bit of privacy. That's okay. It's really about knowing your audience, right? You're really getting to know who they are. So if you have all these fans, okay, wait a second, now who are your fans? Right. So you go into their Facebook pages and you see, okay, they have photos of families, or they follow these brands, or they're posting funny videos, or they're posting funny commercials. Okay, so then you have at least a flavor of who they are. So then you know how to connect with them. So say, okay, I just told Mary before we got on the call, I'm going to Forest Home in a couple of weeks. It's a family camp. So I know that a lot of my audience is family oriented. So I can then share that content with them. I can post pictures and say, here I am at family camp at the lake, or whatever it is that appeals to your audience. So you can connect with them that way.
Coffee and wine.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Those are two keywords. Coffee, wine.
Coffee and wine.
Yeah, right.
Meet me at the coffee shop.
Exactly. Meet me for happy hour. Yeah, whatever it is that resonates with your audience, and that's what you really want to understand. I think, again, because entrepreneurs and solopreneurs small businesses are so busy, we forget to know what our audience is like.
You're super busy tonight.
Yeah, really. I'm getting these.
The Whitman home. Could you hold, please?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna shut off my Facebook, my phone. Okay, so that's just one piece of it. So if you say your audience is LinkedIn, Mary, and you know this well, or if your audience is Instagram, then you really need to curate your content well, and you can only do that piecemeal. So perhaps you do Instagram, I'm just throwing for 6 months, and then you go, okay, I've got this now. I've got it. Now I can add on another one. And it's okay to go to a website and see 2 badges. It's okay.
Did everybody hear that? It's okay to just be on 2 social media platforms. Sashi's point is do 2 well. Right. Don't do 6 half-ass, if I can just say that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being honest. Yeah, exactly.
And I have to agree, because I was doing 6 half-ass for the first 16, 17 months. And then I was realizing, my people aren't on Twitter. That's a great platform for other people, but that's not where my people are.
Exactly. Right. So we just advised a recent business just to be on Instagram and Facebook only, but then to also incorporate video. So you don't have to have a YouTube channel, but you can definitely incorporate video into all of that. Yeah. So that was really, really key. So that is just something that really know where so that's how really figuring out your audience hangs out. And something that I also advise is to, and I know we're going into a little bit of data here, but is to just do a brief survey. It's just only 3 or 4 questions. What social media do you hang out on? Where do you spend the most time on? Where do you shop online?
Amy's watching, my Facebook manager.
Oh, yeah.
Amy, we need to do a survey. Let's do another survey. I want to find out where my audience is, or Amy, just put that in the notes because we have our meeting coming up. Okay. Because I think we need to do a survey. I want to find out, are my job seekers on Instagram? Because I think that younger crowd is.
Yes, it is.
Right?
Yeah, the younger crowd's on there. They're on Snapchat, which is a whole other animal.
I can't even go
not.
there.
I know, right? I'm not right. I'm like, okay, go to somebody else. Not a Snapchat expert, but that's what you want to understand is where your audience, who your audience is, and what makes them tick.
So we should do our due diligence. I mean, even if, let's say you've already started your Facebook page like me, and I have, a Pinterest or whatever. But then you're like, okay, it's time to really understand my audience. It's never too late to go do a survey and get a better understanding of where your audience is, because that could really help you decide which 2 to 3 platforms you're going to really focus on.
Exactly. Right. Okay. And so it takes some time, and this is where entrepreneurs get really a little bit trepidatious, is the time to spend. I know you're spending a lot of time. You are putting blood, sweat, and tears into everything you're doing. You are managing multiple jobs, doing a full-time job, and doing these 3 or 4 on top of it. But it's really important to have a plan and to at least lay it out strategically. And I think that's the key, is to really have a written plan that you can revisit.
Okay, so I just want to put this into real terms for everyone that's watching. Sure. So I'm already on a couple platforms. I have an Instagram account, but I actually don't use it. How do I survey my followers? Do I only survey them on Facebook? Because wouldn't I only get the Facebook people then?
Great question. You can you can do like that Facebook survey poll that a lot of people do. They post it to their page and say, everybody, please fill this out, right? And I saw that you did one recently, Mary, for your classes that you're about to teach. So another method is to do an email, and it could be, I know everybody does SurveyMonkey. There's also, just to let everybody know, Google Forms has a great survey mechanism. It is absolutely free. You can ask.
I love free. It's my favorite 4-letter word.
You can ask one question
and love.
You can. That's funny. You can lose my train of thought. Okay. You can ask one question or 20 questions in Google Forms.
Okay.
And it's and you can just get the data and analyze it that way. And it's easy. It could be, again, it's super easy to use.
Another 4-letter word that I like. Easy.
Easy.
We're having way too much fun here.
This is great.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you can survey your followers after you've set up your different platforms and go wait a minute, is this really where my followers are? And you can ask your Facebook followers, would I ask them, hey guys, are you also on Instagram?
Right, exactly. Oh, totally. Right, yeah. Or where do you prefer to be? Where do you frequent? Where do you, and what brands do you follow, and where are they? I tend to follow a lot of brands and products on Instagram. So I like Instagram because it's pretty.
It's visual.
Exactly. It's very safe. And it takes away a lot of the stuff. It takes away all the politics and a lot of negative information, and it's very, very pretty. So I like Instagram, and I follow my favorite brands on there, and I can shop there if I wish, or just keep looking and finding that type of information that I'm seeking, and that's me. Okay. So think about what resonates the most with your audience and how they can connect.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to work. That's going to be a huge summer project. I feel it coming on to really start, it's time to dive into more of the strategy on my audience and find out where my next audience is. Would that be cause I'm pivoting kind of from female entrepreneurs to these younger job seekers, right? So
exactly. And that's where, that's where the Instagram, and I'm going to throw out Snapchat.
Oh God,
and maybe, I know, but that's where
I
just want to let everybody know there's some great interns out there who know Snapchat really, really well, and you can get a hold of them and they will help you. And I'm telling you, these are tweens, teens, and they will happily help you. I know you may have friends who have kids, you may have kids. They will absolutely come alongside and help you develop that. Okay. So that's a piece that I always advocate.
So we really have to understand where our audience is. And I think another key component of that is, you said, which I hadn't thought about, what brands are they following?
Yeah, exactly.
So what's their style? Where are they at? So whatever brand they're following, where is that brand? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Facebook? Are they only on Instagram? What's their tone? What's their voice? Right?
Right.
Although I'm not going to change mine, because
Right? No, you're
I like my
right.
brand.
Yeah, exactly. No, you have a good solid brand. But I always tell a lot of different people that I mentor is one thing that they tend to feel uncomfortable with is video, which again, I'm going to point back to Mary. Mary does a great job at showcasing herself on video, right? You post yourself, you do video. That's what you want to do. A lot of people I'm not super comfortable with it.
Here's a secret. I'm going to tell everyone right now. I actually don't like doing video. I'm very critical about how I look. Is the lighting right? You know, I have rosacea going on. So like there's a lot going on here, folks. And I actually am very critical and I don't like doing it. But here's the thing. I'm real. I'm authentic.
Exactly.
And you have to do video to survive in your business these days. So I have wrapped my head around it and I'm like, you know what? I'm perfectly imperfect. Is that the saying?
That's perfectly imperfect. Yeah, imperfectly perfect. I don't know.
Yeah. So you know what? And everything I read is that, people want to see the authentic, real people show up. They don't want someone that's perfect on they want to see like, hey, what are you struggling with today? And you know, what's working well and what's not. So they really do want to see business owners, because I'm a business owner, they want to see us how we really are. And I think so embrace video.
Exactly. And if you're only comfortable, you know, you have to be comfortable with who you are and where you are. So if you're comfortable only sharing maybe the happy parts, and that's okay. Sharing pieces of your family or your vacations or your whatever memories that you're going through on the weekend or your outings, that's okay. At least then you're at least connecting.
You know what? I think that's a good point, because when I started, I did like really tiny, quick videos and I did them with someone else. So it wasn't just me in the video, and I did a lot of personal ones. And I think those are probably an easier starting point for someone. Like if you're not comfortable doing video, start with just doing a fun video. Your day at the park, you're at Legoland, you're at a picnic. Right.
Exactly. So one other piece I want to really talk about, which may blow some people's minds, is one of my favorite websites. And this is a great starting point, not just for social media, but for marketers or anyone who's trying to start a business or really reestablish their business, is to understand where their target market hangs out, right?
Okay.
So there is a great resource online, and it's called Prism. It's Prizm.
I think I have that.
It's Prism Segments. And you can access a lot of information with just a zip code. You can understand.
Maybe I've heard of it.
Yeah, you can really, and I it's so fascinating because it breaks down demographics and consumer behavior. Like, what makes your audience tick? Like, where do they like to shop? What do they buy? What do they drive? What car do they drive? What do they like to read?
Okay.
And it's all gathered via census data. So I'm a little bit of a data geek, as you can tell, but it's all good because it's market research based, and it's really trying to understand like what makes them think. It's the psychology of the consumer.
So, you know, after the show, can you go back in and any links or
absolutely,
you know, any information that you give us that has a link, if you could go back in and post that below so that we all go to the right place. I think that it sounds really familiar. So that's awesome. And Shelly Mitch joined us. Hi, Shelly. Thanks for joining us. We've got Becky, Amy. Hi, Laura. Becky, Amy, Laura, Shelly. I can't see who else, but thank you, ladies, for joining us.
Yeah. Awesome.
Tracy, Ethel. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. We got a group.
We got a group. So strategy, and data.
Yeah, and data. Yeah, and really understanding. So that's just a website to go really understand how your market thinks and ticks. So, I mean, and again, you can do this by following your fans on social media and really understanding them, surveying them, and going to, you know, websites for resources. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a lot of work to do.
That's a lot. I know. Everybody take a deep breath. Okay. Yeah.
Is that everything that we're going to go over, or did you have more to share with us? Anything else?
Really, I think we touched upon what one of the other aspects of this was looking at the analytics, which is really key, is really doing a check. So once you have your Facebook page established or your Instagram pages, to really go back and use those analytics. Facebook has some great free analytics, or, you know, or your Google page for your website will have information telling you what social media channels are really feeding into your website. That's a big clue. You're like, okay, people are coming in from Instagram, but not my Facebook. So is it that they're hanging out more on Instagram, or is it that the content you're posting on Instagram is better.
So that's when I hire Nicole to do all that for me.
Right. Yeah.
My girl, Nicole. I'm like, cause I love, like, she gave me this chart. Like, I have to, I should share it with you guys. So Nicole, she's in the marketing success team. We know each other from Hera Hub. And so, you know, unfortunately she moved from San Diego to Santa Barbara, but thank God for Zoom. Right?
Yeah.
And so she, it's like, let me help you out. So we're working together, and she did this whole Google Analytics on my website. And and for me, like, I love data, but that's not in my wheelhouse. So, but she put it together where I could understand. I was like, wait a minute, I had bounce backs. How did that happen? And so she started telling me about that. And our plan is to start working together probably July or August and really get that analytic part, really understand why I'm having bounce backs, where my audience, who's clicking, like, who's clicking, where are they clicking from?
Right. Right. And then go back and listen to Mary's interview with your Instagram. I know you had somebody who's an expert on Instagram, right? So she would be able to tell you what specific hashtags to use and why those are so important. And, you know, people have sort of gotten a little wonky with hashtags, but if you really remember, the reason for that is for trending and for really figuring out what is the for searches.
And on hashtags, I just want to interject in case you didn't see my Tuesday tip, that hashtags are a big deal on LinkedIn. They're actually, you need to use hashtags on LinkedIn. You
good to know.
Search. I have another article that I'm writing up about how to do some searches and do it with hashtags and why you would do that. But you want to use hashtags on LinkedIn now, and they actually suggest them for you when you're doing a post.
Okay, that is really good to know. I did not know that, Mary. Thanks for teaching that, because I do not use hashtags on LinkedIn.
Yes, you need to use hashtags on LinkedIn. I think it was last week's Tuesday post.
Okay.
There's actually a link to the article from LinkedIn about it.
Okay, perfect. That is really, really good information. Okay, excellent. Yeah, so again, really understanding how your market thinks and ticks and how to connect with them. Those are the keys. And you want to really keep remembering that.
Okay. Well, we don't have any questions right here. Everyone's just, they're like commenting and watching. So we have a great audience. Now, you guys, if you had a question, you can post it right here. If you post it after the show, if you could just, tag Sashi in it so that she'll see it and she'll get the notification. I know that she'll go back in and answer your question. This has been so informative. I just, I think that you wanted to share one more bit before we leave about businesses and kind of what we... what we talked about.
The ask is that the major ask I have is I'm working with several international students through UCSD Extension, and they partner with the business. So I act in a consultant capacity, and these students actually provide you, the business, a marketing strategy, a working marketing strategy, a presentation, and a written plan that you can work off from in 8 to 9 weeks. So if anyone has a business or has an interest in it, yes, Mary definitely is like number one.
But seriously, this is amazing because you're going to get an outside perspective. You're also doing good because you're letting someone learn about your business and you're letting them learn how to analyze it. And then you've got Sashi overseeing it, so it's not like interns gone wild. Right?
That's a good movie.
It's not interns gone wild. You've got Sashi overseeing everything. So and I know you've told me about some of the past things that they've come back and the reports. So this is an amazing opportunity. So if you want your business to be reviewed and analyzed, the website and everything, and a report, they provide you with a report. And how much does this cost us?
Hang on. Zero.
Again, my favorite four-letter word. Free. So Becky is saying yes, Becky Reno. Yeah. So I'm sure we're going to have some offers on that. I've got some amazing female entrepreneurs watching, and that's my ideal audience here. So I'm sure you're going to have some businesses that your interns can just review, rip apart. I'm always like, tell them like I'm ready for it.
Like it is. Yeah, they will rip it apart and tell you like it is. Yeah.
Because I can't get better if someone doesn't tell me what I need to do or where I'm missing the mark.
Objective outside perspective. They have no idea who you are, and they're like, okay, wait, why don't they doing the X, Y, Z?
Does it make sense what's on my website, or is it confusing?
Right, or looking at your social media strategy, which is what we're talking about, and helping you improve.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
really good at it.
So, yeah, Becky said, wow. Yeah, Becky, it's a really amazing opportunity. And I know that I'm jumping on board. And so if anybody is interested, just type in the comments, again, tag Sashi and say, my business is ready to be reviewed by your interns.
Yay.
And then she'll
Awesome.
connect with you. Amy said, Sashi, do you suggest any particular social media analytics software? Great question, Amy.
Great question. You know, the one that I always go to is either is Hootsuite, which is like one of the best ones. Hootsuite, yeah. And there's a free program, but they also do it for a fee. So again, depending on what you can afford, that's a great analytics tool for looking at your social media. There's also, oh my gosh, there are several others.
Okay.
And I am happy to add that to the comment section a little bit later, Mary, if you
That
would like.
Be fabulous. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always like to give people like 3 options.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I just think 3, that's a Steve Jobs number. That was his thing.
Right.
Always 3.
Right. Always 3.
So I like to provide people with 3 options.
Yeah.
And Tracy says, I'm ready to have my business be reviewed. See, you're going to get business.
Okay, good.
Way.
Okay, good. Good. Then we'll line you guys up for 2019.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, and Becky says, ready for the microscope.
Microscope. Oh, the analytics. Yeah, the deep. Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I have such a great audience and network here.
That's so
I love
great.
you guys. So Sashi, thank you so much for taking the time and joining me tonight on Bite-Sized Tips for Busy Entrepreneurs, and my connectors out there. That's what we call our community, our LinkedIn connectors. Thank you so much for tuning in. And hey, you guys, if you really like this show and you know it could help someone else that you know, would you do me a big favor and would you just hit that share button and share it out to your network? You know what? Go ahead. Put it on Instagram. Put it on LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever your audience is. Go ahead and share it. And then July 4th, we'll be taking a break because it's vacation week for me and the hubby and the family, and we'll be on the lake. So there will be no Wednesday show, Facebook show that night. But don't worry, we'll be back. Amy, I don't remember the date. We'll post the date of when the next one is. And just stay tuned because next week you're going to see me showcase a bunch of wonderful events in San Diego, like Startup San Diego Week, which is all week long next week. I'll be there Monday helping with a kickoff. And then Social Media San Diego Day. Amy and I are going on Friday. That's another great event. We'll be showcasing that and doing some Facebook Lives. So stay tuned, stay great, stay fabulous. And thanks, guys. Have a great night. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.